Hello everybody and welcome to what is going to be, at least for now, my final video on Black Ops 6 Zombies. At least for now. At least for primary the content cycle of Black Ops 6. I have plans for other videos that I might want to do in the future. This is basically a year in review. Because obviously it has been with Black Ops 6 coming out Black Ops 6. Black Ops 7 coming out as of this video going up tomorrow, which I should be live streaming either today and or tomorrow. I should be live streaming today some DVD charity event and for Trans Week of Visibility, and then obviously tomorrow will be Black Ops 7, presumably first playthrough of the new Zombies map, maybe some multiplayer, stuff like that. Basically, expect some streaming both today and tomorrow. That being said, I want to talk about the entirety of Black Ops 6 as a whole, coming from the mindset of both the grind aspect and also the grind aspect, but also the aspect of just how everything kind of felt. Also, this is a very weird running cycle since it's supposed to be a cleaver, not a machete. But it's fine. Now, mind you, I want to talk about something very important when it comes to Black Ops 6, and that is, I have enjoyed this game very thoroughly. Now, you may notice, though, that my main... That's a very good looking skin, I actually really like that. But I've enjoyed this game's content cycle a lot. Also, that's the end. I've enjoyed this game's content cycle quite a bit. Despite what other people have said, maybe they didn't like it that much due to whatever reasons, I'm not going to judge for it. I think the overall base experience, controversies and such aside, is still a very good game. Obviously, we had some AI usage and all that. I don't want to get into that. It's not that I don't like talking about it. It's that I am not one to speak on it because it's involves stuff that I'm not familiar or necessarily able to change, I guess. Just know that I think that there is good and bad use of AI, and Call of Duty and Activision and Microsoft are not doing the correct ways of doing it. Regardless of this, I think overall the experience of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has been very good and very fun, given everything that's happened. I'm going to be mainly talking about zombies, but I will talk about a little bit of multiplayer. Mostly because I have dedicated most, if not all, of my time to multiplayer. I have 31 days played in zombies, and I think less than a week in multiplayer. That's not to say the multiplayer was bad, it's just that I really enjoyed zombies here, as well as I found the grind in multiplayer, to be a lot more, or the grind is obviously a lot more entertaining, and the grind in multiplayer to be not as fun, because it's just another rehash of a camo that I don't like. That being, Dark Matter. BO3 Dark Matter. I kind of hate how it's recycled, and I don't really like it that much. Although I will say Dark Spine, very nice, and again, I'm not opposed to coming back and doing it, but I was actually going to do this video on multiplayer to show off some of the grind that I have done, but I decided against it. As for just in general, my whole experience with, this grind was just overall solid. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for making a grind a lot more fun. I know a lot of people said the camo grind makes zombies feel repetitive in a way, it doesn't feel as replayable. For me, I didn't even necessarily need the camo grind. It definitely helped with the longevity of the game, but I think it also helped with my burnout and my crash out over carry forward, which again, I still dislike. The fact that they did that was still very annoying. I'm still of the mindset of, I think something that would be kind of fun would be selective carry forward and or skin filters for certain games. So that way, well, yes, it would be bloated. I would much rather see the content of every single game carry forward with exceptions or limitations where possible. So examples being I would love to see, like, for the Modern Warfare titles, every single Modern Warfare title is linked together. And then the Black Ops titles, every single one is linked together. But obviously, within reason, obviously. Like, zombies, I would love to see all the weapons in Modern Warfare 2 and 3 in BO6. I know it would absolutely be bloating the hell out of the box. But I think it would be fun to have it be a thing where it's selective modes, where you can maybe do a mode that's the Modern Warfare weapons, the Black Ops 6 weapons, only the Modern Warfare 2 weapons, etc., etc. That being said, can't change the past, unfortunately, and despite the fact that I think the deletion of carry forward was a very anti-consumer thing and was basically entirely done at the behest of grifters who think they know what's best for gaming when in reality they don't know anything. We're going to be talking about mainly my thoughts on Black Ops 6 as a whole outside of these problems. Overall, Zombies maps selection and offering I think is very solid. Probably, at least, definitely for me, solid A-tier maps for all 6 of them. Liberty Falls and Liberty Falls being like the only one that I would kind of rank at a B tier, if only because I just kind of got sick of hearing Blanchard say "Welcome to Liberty Falls" every single time I loaded in. But outside of that, like even outside of the burnout on some of these maps, I think a lot of them are very, very good. And that being said, I also do like that the maps have gotten progressively more and more advanced and more interesting, along with everything else that's been going on with the story as a whole. Like, the story I feel like is a little bit easier to follow, the twists and turns that we've had have been very nice. That being said, I do have some complaints that are unrelated to the story itself, that being stuff like the lack of voice acting in certain areas, obviously recasting, again, I'm not going to fully comment on it, but you kind of get it. I do think it did affect the map's quality a little bit. I'll go with the AMAX. Fuck it. AMAX and this, I'll take it. But yeah, like overall, I'd say the map experience has been very, very solid. I'd say there's only really one standout disliked map for me, and that is Liberty Falls. But then again, as an introductory map, as like the way of getting people onboarded with the new game and the game and the systems, I think it's decent, honestly. As an overall map experience, I definitely think it is not amazing. I definitely would say there is better maps out there. And I'd say in terms of the overall experience of the other maps, I'd say I might do update the tier list that I have, but it is a little bit outdated, and I don't think I had the original website link to it. But I'd probably say Reckoning, Shattered Veil, Terminus, and Reckoning, Shattered Veil, and Terminus in S tier, Tomb, Liberty Falls, and Citadel in A tier, because I do really like those 3 maps. I know Citadel isn't necessarily the fan favorite of the maps, so I personally do like it a lot. I know it isn't a fan favorite, as I said, but I do enjoy it enough to say that I think it is better than a lot of the other maps that have the 4 elemental wonder weapon type formula. That being said, I do think that there are some aspects of these maps to take away that are very, very positive that I think a lot of people are going to be kind of not talking about as much going forward, and that is overall the aura of these maps have been very nice. Like Liberty Falls being a town that's kind of had an outbreak happen, very, very, I love the vibe. It just is great. On the similar vein, we have stuff like the Terminus Island being a twisted island filled with experiments and stuff like that. I think that really, really was solid. I really did enjoy that. They're above me. Okay, yeah, so they're in the director's, the VIP area, basically. And stuff like that. But, like, you get the idea. Like, I think overall the aura and the vibe and the sort of environmental areas have been very, very solid. I would have really no complaints there. Citadel being, like, effectively a castle with like a lot of twisted things going on inside. Very nice. The tomb is like the weakest one, and that's saying something given the fact that it is, in my opinion, my favorite out of my favorite survival-based experiences. Now when I say, I'll kind of go in detail about what I mean about that and why I'm excited for VO7 as a whole from like the camo grind perspective and everything. That being said, I also do like Shattered Veil. Shattered Veil, I think, is probably definitely my favorite Easter egg out of all of them, which is saying something, because I didn't think my favorite Easter egg could ever be beaten. But it's still very solid, given everything we've had happen. And then the Reckoning, I'd say it's like very middle of the road in terms of both. I like it as a survival experience. The Easter egg's just a little bit lackluster, not the worst. Oh my god, it does all... Okay, that's funny. That's funny. That makes me laugh. I'm very happy that this works. I am I'm amused. I'm amused that this works. I'm 100% going to be using all of these inside of BO7 at once. This is great. I love this. I love this. This is great. If you're curious, I purposely brought in Whimsical because I didn't want to, for this video, because I don't plan on playing zombies much after this video, outside of maybe doing effectively a camo showcase on all the weapons in multiplayer anyway. But I just was like, oh wait, I want to see if all three of these can combine or if it crashes the game, like I've heard people say. No, it works. That's great. I love that. But yeah, like overall, I definitely would say Reckoning's probably like the only one I'm kind of iffy on. I think it's just mainly because it was towards like the peak of my burnout. That's why I have kind of mixed thoughts on it. I still think it's a great map. I just think it has a little bit of problems. One of which I actually I'm going to unfortunately walk past here. That being this big guy right here. That's a whole other conversation for another day, maybe. But again, that being said, I will say in terms of things that I do enjoy about the game, I definitely think the camo grind and the weapon selection, albeit a couple of exceptions, one of which I'm holding currently in my hand, very, very solid. I genuinely was really excited, not even counting the blueprints either. Overall, I really think that this camo grind and weapon selection is probably one of, if not my favorite I've ever done. Which is saying something because I really did like the Modern Warfare Zombies camo grind, even though I really didn't do it to its completion. I basically got every single weapon gold, which I know doesn't seem like a lot, but I got every single weapon gold, i.e. the first of the master camos to be like, this is my contribution to the grind just because it is too many weapons. I do like it that there's that many weapons, but even then, Modern Warfare Zombies was a mixed bag for me. I think it was a fun concept, just not amazing in execution. Although, again, that being said, I did, again, enjoy it to a degree that I did not expect. Talking more on the... talking more on the grind involving camos... Did they do? They did not.
Yes. Think of all you suffered to bring back Maxis, when she knew all along it was impossible. All I ask is that you unmurder my family.
But overall, I would say that the overall vibe of the overall vibe of the game and camo grind has been very solid. I would definitely say that I have some gripes with other camos being the way that they were, i.e. I think of specifically, also we have Prop Chairman and kind of sticking in this area for the sake of getting extra points here for perks. I'd say overall the vibe of a lot of the different things that I disliked kind of were outweighed by the overall enjoyment of the game. I definitely would say the LTM selection was a little bit all over the place. I think the Haunted Havoc was a nice, fun return to, hey, this is really fun, I like this mode. But it being Chaos Accelerant was very off-putting to me, and I did not really like it. I understand it was meant to add difficulty. For me, I think the Chaos Accelerator, basically the fast mode thing that we have, I'm iffy on it, because I like it for high rounding. I think for doing Easter eggs and such, and just playing somewhat casually, not really. Like, obviously you saw me use it in my round 50 run on BO7, but I think that's different. Round 50, when you're trying to do it on a small map like that, it's very fun because you can kind of everything's kind of cramped in together and makes sense. But on a map like, let's say, Reckoning, for example, where everything's a lot more claustrophobic and you have a lot of areas to get to and you really don't have access to everything right out the gate, I think it definitely has a little bit of hindering on there. So, yeah. I do like it. I don't mind it. I just definitely have a couple of problems with it. Also, I really hope that I don't die because this guy's kind of really ruining the area here. That being said, if I want to touch on a couple more things, I would say Easter egg boss fights, because I know I mentioned Easter eggs a little bit. With a lot of stuff that I basically am enjoying being effectively the Easter eggs themselves. Because I've always said this, I really like doing Easter eggs. I definitely think that I've kind of been falling behind on the being able to do them on my own. Because the last time I did Easter eggs solo and have been able to do them solo was Cold War. Now, mind you, I still stand by this. This is going to be a very hot take that I know a lot of people are going to agree with. I think that the Easter eggs in Cold War are definitely the easiest of the bunch. However, I still think that if the BO3 Easter eggs released today, people would call them too easy. With the exception of, like, 1 or 2 of them. That mainly being, like, Gorod, one of the steps on Gorod being very, very difficult for effectively what would be the Warzone style. But even so, I still think the overall Easter egg selection in this game has been very reasonable, and I think the difficulty curve has been very nice. The Tomb being probably the biggest example of 0 to 100 very, very quickly if you aren't prepared. And then another example being Shattered Veils, Easter egg being decently difficult. Just in general, I think overall the vibe of all the Easter eggs being decently difficult was very nice. So I want to bring this out. I want to get the other 2 Gobblegums that I have. Just because I want to use them up, but I just want to do because for the sake it's fun.
Which one of you human guinea pigs is gonna take one for the team?
But just in general, like generally speaking, I think overall the Easter egg boss fights are very interesting. I know Liberty Falls isn't a traditional boss fight, but I definitely think that is again a very good intro to the style of Zombies Easter eggs because it's very bare bones. And I think if we had anything harder, I think it would be a lot. Liberty Falls would be a lot more alienating for Easter egg completion. Especially since its whole completion Dark Ops was to beat the Easter egg in 30 minutes. I definitely think that was a very fun grind, and I remember doing that. It was very fun and satisfying. Terminus Easter egg, I still stand by as saying it is probably the hardest Easter egg in the game at this point, if only because of the fact that it is... A lot of it requires you to be, not perfect, but a lot of it requires... a lot of it requires a lot of extra work, i.e. stuff like, obviously you need the Wonder Bread for every single one of the Easter eggs. But I do like that you need them to a point. You don't need them for the whole thing. But it's like, to a degree, also yeah, there's the cycle that spawns in whenever you do this step. Will help. But yeah, like overall I would say that the Terminus boss fight is probably one of the hardest, and I do think it is probably the most fun. A lot of people complain about it because it has effectively a wipe mechanic. But you gotta also remember it this way too. One of my favorite Easter egg boss fights has a wipe mechanic, and it is probably the one that is the most... A lot of them have effectively what is called a tell, which is like, you know what's going to happen when a certain thing starts to be basically cast off to you and has to tell that it's going to happen. Example being, whenever the Patient 13 starts having a blue glow and a blue electricity all over it, it means that whenever you do stuff like whenever you are doing that fight and he starts glowing blue in phase 3, that means the wipe's going to happen. You just need to get out of his line of sight. Another example being stuff like the Eye of Odin in Voyage of Despair, having its basically scream when it's about to start to wipe, and then you have to basically shoot it to make it stop. Darius and Drox obviously having the light mechanic that is very obviously well cast as well. Like, people who say, oh, the white mechanic on Patient 13 is bullshit, but then they put Darius and Drox as the best map they've ever played. It's like, oh, I could tell you don't have... I could tell that you just don't like Black Ops 6. Which, fair, but also, like, come on. If you're gonna fault a boss fight for having a white mechanic, that means you also put all the games that has a white mechanic in the bottom. Citadel D more, I will still stand by the fact that it is one of the hardest fights in the game, but it's also the most rewarding. Because that Guardian fight, if you were going into that underprepared, holy sweet mother of God. Now, mind you, the other thing I would definitely say involving other Easter eggs is the fact that I am very much a fan of Easter eggs that require you to... I like Easter eggs that require you to not only have what I would call a traditional boss fight, but something that requires you to effectively do a pseudo-lockdown boss fight. So, obviously, most boss fights are effectively in an arena of some type. But, the Liberty Falls boss fight, I will still stand by saying it is not that bad.
Would that be a live ammo? Never mind.
Also, that's a very funny quote, by the way. But a good example of this is something like if I think of specific Easter egg boss fights, I really do like the Tomb boss fight to a degree, because as difficult as that fight is, it is very fun because of the It is very fun because the fact that it goes from the Easter egg is fairly easy to going to extremely difficult very quickly. Now, mind you, I don't think that's a bad thing. Also, ow.
Keep them safe. They are my last hope of bringing back Mary and Samuel.
List update. You are target number 1.
Also, yeah, I know I just used the little points to my salvage to upgrade this thing. I might not keep both of these, because I might want to try and get the more weapon, if only because I do like it. But we'll see. That being said, though, I do definitely agree in saying that, like, yes, some of the boss fights aren't that great, and some of the Easter eggs themselves aren't that great, but I will still stand by the fact that I think I enjoy every single one of these boss fights more than most of the BO3s. Like, just flat out. I know it's gonna sound like a hot take, but, like, the only one I can reasonably say I prefer over these is gonna be, like, Gorod's, because it's, like, a two-phase fight. Now, mind you, when it comes to doing these, when I'm mentioning these Easter eggs, I'm going to be avoiding mentioning one fight, because I have not done it yet. That being Rick Toffin's boss fight on this map that we're playing right now. I've not done it. I've attempted it once, and I haven't attempted it since. Oh yeah, I should probably go help with that, since we need more zombies over there.
You are motivated. Dismission not found. Medium trial reward unlocked.
Want some more from there we go. Got it.
Dictates, I inform you that the highest trial tier reward has been unlocked. I I hope these trials have in
Love
some
to keep
way
the cipher.
helped to relieve the tedium of your
Because it's the
miserable
funny
existences.
streamer one. Which I do love this blueprint. It's one of my favorites. Okay, burps. But like overall, again, something I can kind of agree with is the fact that I just like how I've never actually used this one. I just like how well the Easter egg boss fights are kind of put together. Like, I think of the Tomb, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a very hard boss fight that requires you to be basically very, very careful and very, very... Like, you have to fucking lock in, basically. The Z-Rex is very similar, you have to lock in. The only one I can say you can kind of be a little bit more nonchalant with is Liberty Falls, which I don't mind. Oh, thank you. Healing aura. Neat. I lost one of my perks, but it's fine. They probably don't have it equipped. And even then, it's just dead shot. Not that big a deal. Oh, they actually burped too. I wasn't even paying attention. But like, overall, I would definitely say, like, I enjoy the boss fights. The Easter egg quests themselves are a mixed bag. I definitely would say, out of all of them, the one I dislike most is probably Liberty Falls. Or not Liberty Falls. Shattered Veil, because it's just a lot of running around. It's a lot of just monotonous do thing, get item, go place and thing, do lockdown, finish. Like, yeah, it's a bit long-winded, but at least it's fun, right? It's different. Although the Reckoning is definitely a nice step up, and I really hope it's kind of setting the standard for Ashes, in terms of the vibe. Obviously, I'm going into Ashes of the Dam with absolutely no idea of what's going on. That being said, though, I am very excited to see what's gonna happen next in Ashes. I'm excited to see the boss fights and everything, and all the weapon selections, stuff like that. If I had to say one thing I'm definitely excited for, though, is going to be the camo grind, because again, it's like, I haven't really even seen the camo, so I'm going into that completely blind, not knowing what the camo looks like. As well as, I will talk a little bit about multiplayer and campaign. I didn't play Black Ops 6 multiplayer, just not because I disliked it, it's just like, again, zombies caught my attention a lot more, and I found zombies to be a lot more of a fun grind. As well as me doing effectively the way I did the Cold War grind, I think made a lot more sense. But given that I want to try and go for a camo grind across all three, because I have been told that none of them are reprised camos, I have been more interested in doing all three. My main reason for not doing BO3 was because, or not doing Black Ops 6 multiplayer was because of the fact that it is Dark Matter again. That being said, though, again, I'm not opposed to coming back to doing it again. Like, basically finishing it. Obviously, I don't think it'll have this game will have many players, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. Obviously, I'm only level 773 as of now, so I could try and see if I can get level 1000 as well. That's kind of why I'm playing zombies right now, so I can maybe see if I can do solo Easter eggs post Black Ops 7's release, maybe during like a break or something like that. As well as I want to be able to come back and play this game in case friends of mine don't have BO7, they want to play zombies with me and stuff like that. Yeah. Overall, I would say Black Ops 6 Zombies as a whole, definitely like a solid S tier game. Probably high A, low S. I definitely would say BO4 is still probably my favorite, just because it is BO4. I have a lot of memories of that game. But don't get me wrong, I've grown to enjoy this game a lot in the year that we've had it. I'm excited for BO7. Are they doing the Panos route? They must be. They must be doing Panos route. That's interesting. Why the Panos route of all the whole routes? Am I missing something? But yeah, like overall, excited to see.
Incorporeal entities a satisfying meal do not make. You must force it into being more digestible.
Yeah, so they're gonna be killing Blanchard. All right. interesting, I guess.
That machine spinning off.
Oh no, they don't even have the weapon assembled proper yet. I think they, yeah, they haven't assembled the weapon proper, so they're actually not making, they're doing the base weapon. I thought they were doing the Panos route for the upgrade. But yeah, like, if I could just kind of summarize BO6 as a whole, I think the multiplayer was just kind of lacking a lot of the power that I think something like Modern Warfare 3 did, and something that Cold War did. But I definitely think it has, I think map selection and variety was very, very nice. The multiplayer LTMs were very, very fun. I think, in general, the game was very fun. For me, though, one thing I definitely found a little bit lacking was the fact that a lot of the good party games that I really liked didn't get added in until, like, Season 3. Like, Gun Game didn't get added until Season 3. I'm really hoping that COD will finally kind of realize that these modes are kind of what makes people really enjoy them. But at the same time, I'm also like, come on. Give us at least Gun Game on day one. Or at least Season 1, you know? Because that's something that I really enjoy as like a little bit of a party game mode, as well as it's something that Evie enjoys as well, because it is a very fun game mode to play with friends. As long as if they add Gun Game in Season 1, just please let it be a thing where you can party up, because God, not being able to party up for Black Ops 6 Gun Game when it first came out was such a absolute dagger, because
Warning.
it was very annoying.
Detected. Great for low gravity conditions.
All right, looks like you're ready to go. Find me an admin. We can make a plan to capture Panos.
Disregard that short-sighted cretin. I will help you unlock the weapon's true potential. If you let me go.
His intellect knew no bounds. I'm speaking past tense, obviously.
System failure. Rebooting.
But, yeah, like, overall, I'm excited to see the future of Black Ops 7 Zombies. I'm excited to see where both Ashes of the Dam and Astra Malorum takes us. As well as, overall, again, I think something I want to bring up that I actually failed to bring up before I end the video is the whole survival experience, because I myself am someone who sometimes doesn't like always doing Easter eggs. I like just doing the survival experience because of, like, camo grind, stuff like that. Obviously, there's stuff where that you could do in Easter eggs that help with camo grind, like doing Easter eggs that spawn elites infinitely, like Liberty Falls, or spawn some elites, like in Shattered Veil. That actually helps me get my Dresden 9mm done. Stuff like that. But overall, I definitely think the survival experience in these games are very, very solid. There's, like, basically the way I see it is, how easy is it to set up Pack-a-Punch and or get to Pack-a-Punch? And then how fun is the map to play without doing the Easter egg? Like, does the game kind of shoehorn you into the Easter egg? All these maps, I feel like, do a very good job outside of, like, Citadel, because, again, it suffers the Origins Horizon problem of if you want to get the Wonder Weapon up to the map, it requires you to do a lot of extra work. Like, a lot of extra work that you did not necessarily don't need. Thankfully, it's not too bad.
Attention. Low gravity conditions expired.
That being said, though, I'm excited to see that I'm excited that we're getting survival maps in BO7 to basically allow for people who don't want to do the main big map to grind their camos. To have something to do, as well as the alternative of just having a way of grinding out zombies as a whole.
Wonder if that could fix up my scars.
Successful candidates will read and follow trial instructions to the letter. And boy, do I feel super pedantic today. You must be so proud of the minor success you are experiencing.
But yeah, like, generally, I'm excited. I'm excited to see more. I'm excited for just the game to feel solid. And I'm excited for just overall more Call of Duty. I'm going to be trying to do the multiplayer grinds. Obviously, there is a campaign. I'm going to be doing that. Once I finish up certain games, I'm just going to be prioritizing Casting of Frank Stone, like I mentioned in the DVD video that I did yesterday. Or that I did, not yesterday, but a couple days ago. But that being said, I'm going to be trying to do a whole mess of stuff. I obviously plan on doing the end game video on, like, at least a video on end game. That being the new, like, PvP, or not PvP, PvE mode that's at the end of the campaign. And stuff like that. But regardless, I'll see you guys next video. Let me know what your thoughts are on BO7, just as a, not necessarily as a whole, but just kind of going into it as a, maybe just what type of player you are. But just me, I'm the grinder type player who likes to just grind out camos and levels. I'm certainly going to definitely be doing a lot of, where is the, it's below me. How is it below me? Oh, it's in the secret room, isn't it? It's in the funny room. Oh, it's below me still. Huh? Oh, no, it's in the... I just realized where it is. It's in the pack room. I might be a little stupid. But yeah, just overall, I'm excited to see what the future holds, not just for Call of Duty, but for all the games moving forward. I'm going to be doing as much as I can to grind out both games. Obviously, you'll be seeing, like I said, I'll be streaming tomorrow the launch of BO7 with both the first playthrough of the new Zombies map, along with the playthrough of the new Zombies map, along with obviously some multiplayer, maybe a little bit of campaign. But yeah, I'll see you guys next video or live stream I'm gonna make. Everybody, stay safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with whatever I decide to make. Have a good day, stay safe. Be good people. I'm gonna steal that from James. And yeah, see you guys next time. Guys, awful rewards.